verbal riot.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the show. It is Thursday, my favorite day of the week, and I'm happy, man. I'm happy because I have a guest that's going to be joining us soon that I haven't seen for a while, and she's a very special guest, by the way. She was my very first interview when I started VRL, so I'm excited to have her back, man. She took my YouTube virginity, and now she's back. I was just a lad when I first met her. Now I am a man, and she has returned. So I can't wait to bring her out. But before I do that, y'all just understand I'm well aware, trust me, more than anybody, of what's going on in LA because I am in LA right now. And shit is wild out here, man. I am safe. I am safe. Chris Gore is safe. Alan is safe. We're all safe out here. But it is a little crazy. It's a little crazy. And, you know, a lot of heated discussions going on about what's happening with this ICE thing and immigration and all that. But I tell you what, that's not going to stop us from having a good time. We'll put that aside. We'll think about that later. I mean, if you want to go to, the news or Twitter and look up what's happening, feel free to do that. But you know what? I feel like we need a distraction, y'all, right? And I'm going to give it to you because we're going to be talking about anything but immigration and ICE on this show. But guys, again, I started this little trend and I'm going to try to keep it going because, again, I'm older now. I forget things. I smoke a lot of weed, so my memory's not what it used to be. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Please comment, like the video, all that cool YouTube shit that I always tend to forget. I know I say that, but I do. I forget a lot. So if you guys can do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. But I am really glad you guys are here, man. And honestly, it feels good to be. Wait a minute. I said Thursday, right? No, it's Monday. Holy shit. It is Monday. Again, I blame it on the weed. It is a Monday today, and I normally do my show on Thursday. So, all right, guys, this is how we're starting out, huh? And I see a couple of y'all already showing up, and I hope more of you show up a little bit later. But needless to say, I want to get into it, man. And I am very happy to have this young lady on the show today. Guys, give it up for Miss Vera Vanguard.
Woohoo! Making men into boys with puppets and toys.
Oh, I like that. I like that. It even rhymed. But see, that's why you're a professional. Mm-hmm. How have you been?
Good. We were talking earlier about how we're getting a little older and how we're working out every day and if you don't, bad things happen when you don't take care of yourself after a certain age. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, no, it really does. It's, I don't know, man. I will say this. I think 50, because I am 50 now, guys. I'm 51. 50 does look a little bit different now than it looked like when I was younger, right? Because I remember my grandfather, my grandparents, being 50, but looking so much older, right?
Yeah.
They looked older, like they looked like grandparents.
Remember the Golden Girls? They're around 50.
Yeah, isn't
they're
that
all
crazy?
Old. And I'm I ain't looking like that when I'm 50. Hell no. I'm gonna look like this.
Well, it's funny because they say black doesn't crack, or black don't crack, but I don't know. I look in the mirror these days and I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing some cracks now. I'm seeing some wrinkles here and there.
It'll be all right. We'll get a little retinol. We'll get you a cream. Oh. You'll be fine.
I'm sorry. You know what? My ego would not ever let me get Botox, and not because I'm above it, but just because I feel like men who get Botox, yeah. I don't know. You know what I mean?
You look a little weird. Like plastic surgery on men. Granted, Tom Cruise's plastic surgery is amazing, but on men,
yeah, it is.
It's a little iffy.
It's a little iffy, and it's a little unmanly. I know I shouldn't even say that, right? But it's a little unmanly, right? I don't know. How do women feel about men who get plastic surgery?
Well, it depends on how good the work is. If you're Tom Cruise getting a $250,000 facelift that looks all natural, sure, yeah, that guy looks like that at 62. Is it? Now that is good work.
Yeah.
But he also has the buckage to do it that way. But like the rest of the men who like, you know, like the Cuban Barbie Ken or whatever, you know, that guy, he that's a little too much for moi. But
Sure.
you know, like a little good nip and tuckage. I don't do what you want. I will support Dante, whatever he wants to do.
You know, maybe if I get to the point where I feel like I really need it, like where I'm just looking busted, then yeah, I'll probably go ahead and I'll throw down the cash and get a touch up. You know what I mean? Probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen.
A little something, a little magical sprinkling of LA magic.
But see, and that's the thing, right? It's because we live in LA. Like we live in LA and everyone's obsessed with their looks. Not only do we live in LA, but you know, being part of this film business, you know, it's like you see it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like we go to these Infilis parties. And for you guys who don't know, Infilis is like this organization where it's basically like a meet and greet where you get to like hang out and party and meet other people in the industry. They're usually not the highest ups, but you know, you get to meet other people trying to like kind of break through. And every now and then some important people show up, but not often.
It's like a good tier level place to meet. And I've seen Dante at quite a few of these, and and honestly, I have met some really incredible people at some of these. Like,
so have I. Yeah, there's some great people there.
Like, there's the sleazy sleazeballs that are like there to pick up on the fresh off the boat like actresses.
Yeah.
And then there's just like executives who are just there to drink themselves out of their crappy day of like making horrible decisions that wind up on our screens.
Yeah, so, I mean, every now and I get invited to, you know, like you do, like all of them, but I think I only show up to maybe like a couple a year.
Yeah, you're selective. I show up at the opening of an envelope, so.
Oh, that's funny. But you know what it is though? It's because way more than I am. You are like a lot more connected into the industry. Like you're a filmmaker. So I mean, in a way, it's like you don't have to be there, but you kind of do. I'm not. I'm like an outsider. I'm a Hollywood outsider. So I just show up when I feel like drinking.
Right. Also valid, completely valid reason to show up anywhere.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, the last time I was there, I had a couple of drinks with Cory Felman, which was kind of cool.
Really?
Never really talked to that cat. You know, I've seen him around a lot, but never really talked to him. And yeah, it was pretty cool, kind of getting to know the man. You know what I mean? I mean, shit. I've been watching him since I was 14 years old. So to finally
he hasn't aged either.
He looks weirdly the same, right?
He does. Him, Ralph Macchio,
yeah.
Like, there's some dudes in town that are, you know, drinking the baby blood, you know, like for real.
Yeah.
Like,
no, there was some unicorn shit happening here. Like
like mermaid eating, that whole thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's a little weird. Like I can expect it more from like ladies because there are amazing surgeons out here. Or go overseas or do whatever, but like men who remain looking childishly young into their 60s, are they now? Holy moly.
You know, I mean, yeah. I mean, you know what's funny? Because you brought up Tom Cruise, and I'm like, and I know he does get something done, but at least
he gets a lot of stuff done.
I know. But but he's looking his age. He's definitely starting to look his age nowadays. I mean, so maybe his guy is just good enough to make him look natural for his age.
Yeah, of course. He's got the best people working that money can buy. Of course.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he's Tom Cruise, so yeah.
Exactly. Him and Lindsay Lohan, like they probably go to
Lindsay Lohan. I don't know what happened there. Like she looks like she did when she was 25. I'm like,
oh, I know what happened. I know the surgeon's name. So
oh no, please.
I delve really deeply into this sort of thing simply because it's like a little like it's like my little guilty pleasure to know things around town. Gossip is like I like the underground gossips, and I'm also a professional makeup artist. So while I'm doing someone's face, people talk. I get to hear things. I get to people name names, and they don't know who I am. They don't know that I live in a public sphere. I'm just like a chick in a baseball hat wearing black, painting their face.
Yeah, and what's funny though? Like you would think, because look, again, we've been around for a long time. Everyone knows everybody, so you got to be careful what you're saying things too, or who you're saying it to, right?
Exactly.
And it to this day, it still like boggles my mind how people are not aware of that, and they'll say the craziest shit to somebody, and they'll wonder how it got out. Right? It's like everybody knows everybody in this town.
Yes, and we're all 6 degrees of anybody in any connection, probably even smaller now. It's probably like 1 or 2 degrees. Or if you really want, you just text the guy or the girl or anybody. You could literally just tweet at them and be like in contact.
Well, what's weird for me is I feel like I have always been around, right? Like I mean, I've done some work in the industry, especially when I was younger. I did a lot of, production. I did a lot of extra work just because blah blah blah. But unlike most extras that just are there to be there and shut up and go home, I was the guy hanging out with people, talking and having a good time with them, right? So which was not the norm for an extra to do. I've done a lot of things, but at the same time I still consider myself an outsider. You know what I mean? Like, meaning, yeah, I know a lot of people, sure, a lot of people, but at the same time, I don't let that stop me from saying whatever the fuck I want, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have anything holding me like I'm not on the leash, I guess you could say, because I do know a lot of like guys in the industry who are. I'm not saying you are, but I know guys who are, and they really gotta watch what they say because of this situation or this job or this gig and who they know, and it's like, I never want to be in that position where I can't just speak completely freely about what I'm thinking. So
and that's why your show is appropriately titled Verbal Riot.
It is very appropriately titled.
Appropriately.
Now who knows? I probably have a different attitude if that script I was going to sell to HBO years ago. If that had went through, then I'd probably be like the biggest shill in the world. But since it didn't happen, I'm free to speak freely.
Money would have kept you shut, but since you didn't get it, you're free.
Since I didn't get it, then oh well. Hollywood has to deal with the consequences now.
That's right.
But the reason why I wanted you on the show is because me and you talk. We've always had a good vibe, and we've known each other for a little while, and we always have a good time together. But at the same time, I really do respect what you do as far as filmmaking goes, because I love people who kind of carve out their own thing. And I love people who use practical effects, which you do.
I do.
But you're here for a very specific reason, and why don't you talk about it?
Well, I'm here to let everybody know that I made a little feature film called Apocalypse Love. It's a puppet movie. It's an emo gothic love story set in a zombie alien apocalypse, all done practically with these puppet dolls in a way that's called play motion animation, where you see the hands puppeteering the dolls, but it's done in such a crazy, silly way that you don't even see the hands after a while. It's just the dolls going through this crazy zombie alien apocalyptic love story. And we are showing at Dances with Films on June 22nd at the Chinese Theater. So if you are around and you're in the Hollywood area and you want to come say hello to me and the cast and crew, we'll be as many as I can get to the showing. We'll have the screening at 6:15 on Sunday, June 22nd. Please come. Please enjoy. Please support us indie filmmakers. And it is part of Dances with Films Film Festival. So they graciously accepted us, oddly, into the kids category. It's not really a kids movie, but it's kind of clean. It's clean. The language is clean. But if I showed you and pointed out all the weird pervert stuff that I do, you can never unsee it. But if I don't point it out to you, it's like kid friendly, I guess.
No, it is. I mean, I've seen it, so I enjoyed it, and because it is so bizarre, right? Like okay, it kind of reminds me of like back in the day, right? Like back in the 80s, like they would like have these kind of adult puppet movies where like it was an adult story told with puppets, and you saw that a lot back in the 80s, right? And so it was kind of like a throwback to that.
Puppet Master, Leprechaun, Dark Crystal, like puppets for a creature feature was a thing. And
it was a big deal.
Horror, it's still done completely practically, and I just sprinkled a little VFX here and there that I couldn't do with practical effects, but there's like zero green screen in the whole thing. It's all like he drives a mini, like I had a mini car, and he's driving it. It's him at the wheel, and the wheel's like this big, and he's driving it.
Now, how hard is it to like put a crew together to do all this?
Well, it was,
or did you do everything yourself?
Right. It was a COVID project, so I had to figure out a way to make a feature film without using people. And then I just happened to be a toy puppeteer for a living. I've done hundreds of toy commercials because I'm a child-size hand model. And
wait, are you saying you have child hands?
I do have child hands. I have the tiniest little hands. Like look at these things. This is the size of my head.
I'm sure guys love you for that.
Oh, there's so
you
many
probably made them look like giants.
So many hands.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Like, I'm not political in any way, but I feel like I've missed out on this incredible opportunity to make a viral video. I just don't do anything political. But how funny would it have been if, like, when Trump was being told that he had little hands, like, we edit a video of him at the podium saying a speech, and then it cuts to, like, anytime he looks down, like, my hands painted orange, and I'm like drawing with a crayon, and like
that is a missed opportunity. You should have taken that opportunity. I know you're not political, but you know what? That's satire.
That would have been hysterical.
Right? You could do satire now.
And I would have painted my hands like a really ugly orange color, like Oompa.
Oh no, you have to.
Oh well.
Put some wrinkles in there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm a makeup artist. We could do it. Yeah.
Now, what's funny is you say that. Oh, and by the way, if you're in the LA area during Dancing with Films, you guys should definitely go. It's at the Chinese, which is an amazing theater, landmark theater. It's been around forever. Saw some great movies there. I remember back in the day when they used to have like 1 a.m. showings of movies.
Oh,
like I saw Pulp Fiction there at 1 a.m.
Oh,
and we didn't get out of there till 4 a.m.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, it was a good time.
Dances with Films is also having a midnight screening series. So like Friday,
very
Saturday,
cool.
I think they're doing like really insane movies at that hour. So
okay.
So letting everyone know.
It should be a party. Should be fun.
It will be a party. It will.
Now, is it? Do they do the same thing where like they'll have like the festival there, but then they'll like go across the street to the Roosevelt and have like drinks and?
Oh yeah, every night. Every night.
Yeah, and that's a really cool thing too. So guys, the movie is fun. Go watch it. But the cool thing is you get to go to the Roosevelt, which is an amazing hotel. Actually, my favorite hotel in LA. Well, probably period.
Yeah.
Great pool. Love their pool. You go there for drinks after and have a good time.
Yeah, yeah. And our showing, like I said, is at 6:15 on a Sunday. So it's still early enough. It's only an hour long, the feature film, and then you could go drink for a couple of hours and sober up and go home.
Which is what I normally do anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Like I always, even like the Infilis parties, I'll show up, make an appearance, just drink, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good till like the next 5 months when I come to the next Infilis party.
It's so true. In LA, like you could go to like one party and you're good for a while. Like who has time for that stuff anyway? If you're busy and you actually work, like you're up at 5 a.m. anyway to get on set. If you like actually work in the industry, like you can't party that late. It's so funny. I tell all my friends on the East Coast, I'm like, guys, all that TMZ crazy happens before 1 a.m. in LA because everyone's dead by like midnight because they got to be up early the next day. So
absolutely,
it's nuts at like 8-9 p.m.
People will be shocked how early. They'd be shocked how early Hollywood closes down. Like it's no one's out that late.
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah. Like, and especially for Infilis, because Infilis, they always do these parties on a weekday.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, and if you want to get on the red carpet, which I always try to do, but now I'm like, oh, my whole Instagram is Infilis red carpet. So, like,
yeah,
I need variety. So,
yeah, I don't even mess with the red carpet anymore. There was a time where every time I went to the party, I do the red carpet. I avoid the red carpet now because there's always a line, and honestly, I don't even know where these pictures end up because I'm not the one taking them.
No, well, I happen to know all the photographers.
Okay.
When you're a savvy kind of gal, there's a little tip for anybody being an actor or anybody in this town. Like, make friends with the paparazzi. It's the same guys. They show up to everything all the time. It's the same people.
Okay, so, but you also have the advantage. You also have the advantage of being, a hot chick, who wears crazy outfits, and who's going to say no to you, right? Like, what photographer is going to say no? I'm not going to give you these pictures.
Right. Well, you take their card and then they post it on whatever website they do their thing on, and they're your pictures. It's just for the kids coming into town just now.
Yeah, and I get it. Look, I understand now. I think because I'm at the point where I am in my age where I don't need these parties really anymore. Yeah. But I get it if you're young, you're trying to kind of, figure things out with Hollywood and like what you want to do and who you need to meet. Mm-hmm. I would recommend going to the parties, doing the whole dance, because you have to do it, right? You have to pay your dues. You have to put the legwork in to make it happen. So I get that.
Just be very careful. There's a lot of sharks out there and a lot of wolves.
Oh, absolutely. And you can almost like spot them at this point.
It's true. If you're young enough, that's why they like go after the super young, because they don't quite have the life skills to like see. Whereas you and I were like across the room, like, oh, that guy. And then we laugh because it's so creepy and cheesy. And then it's like, because I'm going to fall for that act. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because I mean, especially like when we have it like at the Modrian at the Sky Bar, I usually just grab my drink and I find like a nice comfy couch by the pool, and I usually just chill there. I mingle a little bit just if I know somebody. If I don't, I'm just there for the booze.
Yeah.
And then I'm going home.
Absolutely valid way to spend a good evening.
Oh, absolutely. How long have you been doing this now? Like how long have you been making movies?
I made my
on your own. I mean.
This is my third feature film. I've done actually a bunch of film shorts and a couple of web series when web series was a thing.
Oh God! So way back then, huh?
Way back then. I wet my little toes in writing with my very first web series, which was called The Building of Good and Evil. It's on my YouTube channel at Vera Vanguard. If you're interested, I mean, it's little baby Vera trying to write 10 episodes of these like 4 to 6 minute little vignettes about a girl living in this dilapidated building, and her next door neighbor is the Beast because she lives in 667, he lives in 666, and then everybody else in the building is also supernatural. She's the only human in the whole building.
Oh, that sounds fun.
She's just trying to make it as an actor and failing absolutely terribly at it. So that was the very first thing that I wrote when I started writing, and I that's how my little toe got like the first little writing credit, and then I just decided that, you know what, I want to try and write feature films. So I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and this thing I wrote in quarantine. So
yeah, I think a lot of people started making like a transition during the lockdowns into media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you had to learn every skill, and luckily for those people that were industrious, learned the skills. Like I learned how to edit. I learned how to do color correcting, like all sorts of crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, no. Ever since I started doing YouTube, like it's funny because I love it. I love what I do. It's fun. I have a good time. I rarely ever not have a good time when I'm streaming. But I think I underestimated the amount of work that goes into maintaining a YouTube channel and putting out content on a consistent basis. Yeah. And, learning editing, learning like even just thumbnails, right? Like just all these little things you have to learn, man. And yeah, that's part of the fun, but it's also a lot of work, and I think it's more work than people realize before they started. Now, when you take filmmaking into that scenario, that's a whole nother level of I didn't know what I was getting into until I got into it.
Well, now you have to know the camera, the lighting, the angles, the
sound.
The sound. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on sound.
Yeah, no. I said, I specifically went to sound because that is the easiest thing to screw up.
Yeah.
In filmmaking, man.
Yeah.
Like people, they have no idea. Like you could have the most beautifully shot movie and the sound will fuck it all up.
That was going to be my next point, because that is 1000%. Like the sound is far more important than the visual. Like if the sound is screwed up, no visual is going to look good. I was going to mention that I gave my sound guy, Brandon Miller, he literally took a floppy puppet silent film and brought it to life. Like I just handed him a blank edited thing and I went, here you go. See you in 3 months.
Yeah. But you know what, though? I mean, it's nice to have someone you could just pay off, right?
Exactly. 3 months later, he delivered an insane movie. And by the way, my soundtrack is just like, you guys, it's like all EDM, rock, dubstep. Like, it's just a crazy soundtrack of like incredibly well-known artists, actually.
And you were able to get that like with licensing and everything?
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
It's funny because these are all like my friends. Once again, in lockdown, everyone was reachable. Everyone was bored.
You know what? Damn, that is a good point.
Yeah, I'm unscrupulous. I'm an indie producer. I don't care. What's the worst that could happen? They'll be like, get out. Okay. Like, you know, like you say, like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And literally nobody said no to me. I was like, hey, can I have a song for my zombie alien puppet movie? Yes, you can. Here's my catalog. Pick whatever you want.
Wow. You know what though? I kind of miss that like guerrilla style filmmaking though, right? Like it was so like big in like the 80s in the 90s, I mean. Right? Like, you know, I think about like Kevin Smith and all those guys and Spike Lee and Robert Rodriguez, like, and you hear these stories of like, you know, like Rodriguez, right? Selling blood, selling his body to make his movie. You know, this like romantic like vision of like the diehard filmmaker who wants to get it done no matter what the cost, right? I kind of miss that. I miss those days though.
I'm a big fan of early Kevin Smith. Not today Kevin Smith, but like early.
No, like, early Kevin Smith was great, man. I'm still a fan of the man, you know. And I look, you know what it is. I have so much respect for him because of what he did. That the stuff he does now, I just kind of look at it like, yeah, whatever, you know.
Stay hungry, everybody. Stay hungry. It keeps your work better.
You know what though? I had this conversation with another guy on a different show about this, but I don't think staying hungry is enough. I think there does come a point where, as a filmmaker, when you've been doing it for a while, you eventually lose it. You just lose it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's hunger or not, but I think like you look at a guy like Ridley Scott, right? It's like, and love the man. He made some of the best movies, some of my favorites of all time, right?
Right.
He's lost it. Like, I'm sorry, Ridley is not the same guy. He's not making the same kind of movies, man. Coppola, not making the same kind of movies. You know, there comes a point, I think, where you do kind of age out.
For me personally, what I think is gonna take me out is like lack of ideas. It takes me a long time to brew a really, really good idea. And if you got like a studio breathing down your neck, like create this, and it's like the ideas are just not coming, you're just going to pick whatever out of the air, which to me, I think it explains why so many filmmakers go downhill, because they're like under contract. They have a 6-picture deal. And what if they only had 2 scripts when they went into it, and now they made them, and now they have to come up with 4 more? And
yeah, no, I hear you on that.
It's like a terrible system, the whole thing.
It is a very bad system. And honestly, it's getting, because I was going to bring that up as a topic, is, again, having been around the industry for so long and seeing like where it is now, it's crazy to me how many people that I know who work consistently in the industry are out of work now. And they've been out of work for a long time, right? It's like these studios are just dropping people left and right because they're losing money. Like, so what's your opinion on that? Like, what do you think about that? Or do you know people who are in this situation right now?
Of course, to be brutally honest, it's of course it's not the fault of the actors or the crafts people.
No, of course not.
It's literally, it's all up at the top of the executives making the worst decisions known to mankind. Like I don't know if you're watching this right now, but right now, like, my guilty pleasure is The Studio, that TV show.
Everyone keeps telling me to watch it. You know what? I am going to start it. I've been putting it off, but I'm going to start watching it.
I feel like they're outing themselves. Like whose life did you guys write about for this show? It's too real. Like I truly believe that they are outing themselves into the public of like how it actually works. How.
But that's why people love this show, though.
Exactly, but it, like, how inept these people are. They're business people, and they're telling creatives how to create, and that's just not the way it works. You can't influence a creator to create by like saying, you have a contract, I need a script by next month. Like, like creativity doesn't work like that most of the time, or you'll get garbage. So, you know,
well,
the great American novel takes like 20 years to write, or whatever. Sure. You know, that's my point. I think it's like just the top doesn't know how to work with the bottom, and they're making the worst decisions ever. And the crafts people and the creatives are literally paying the price across the board for it.
Yeah, no, they really are. And I think a bigger part of it too is just I don't understand why every movie now has to be like $200 million.
That's the other thing.
I've heard different reasonings for it, but I'm like, I still don't buy it.
Yeah, like people's as an indie filmmaker, like it pains my heart. It's like, give me $1 million and see what I can do. I made this thing for $15,000 out of my own pocket. Give me $1 million. See what I could do with that. Like,
right.
The people, the friends that I can call, like the nepotism I can like flex finally. I've been collecting amazing talent for years now. It's like the people I can call and the talent I can tap and be like, dude, I can pay you this time. And it won't be $1 and a pizza. Like, just watch what we can do as like indie filmmakers for like literally fractions of this money. And somehow it's going to like the worst garbage ever.
And I don't even know why they don't do that though, right? Like, why don't they don't
know we exist? That's all. They just
they know that they know that there's younger filmmakers or you know, indie filmmakers that could probably take a little and make a lot with.
Yes.
I think what they're doing is just hardcore gambling, right? Like they're it's like, you know, betting it all on black, right? It's like, hey, we don't know how it's going to turn out, but here's $100 million, and hopefully we'll make twice the amount of that.
Yeah, well,
I think it's all gambling at this point.
To make $500 million in revenue just to pay yourselves back now, it's just like it's a runaway train.
And another thing too about that is the celebrities that they're dumping all this money to. You know, people got to start asking the question: are they worth it now? Right? Like, is Margot Robbie really still worth $20 million a movie? She's
the producer and has her own company.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Is Leo still worth $20 million a movie? Like, you got to start asking those questions now.
Exactly.
Which I don't think they are.
No.
Right? Because people are still making this money.
I don't think stardom buys you anything these days. Like, you can get a kid on TikTok getting 20 million views per video every time.
Yeah,
but that kid on TikTok is not going to translate to the big screen. They've tried it so many times, and
oh my God.
Also,
I hate that so much.
Like, where's the formula? Like, how do you mold this into a profitable, sustainable thing? And that's where we are. And you and I, hopefully in our lifetimes, we're going to see how this evolves or devolves or blows up.
Well, it's already blowing up. I mean, just not the right way. But no, I despise the fact that they're doing casting now based on Instagram followers.
Yeah. It's freaking
shit like
nuts.
That.
It's nuts. Like no, that's not going to translate in any shape or form. And anybody I talk to who like hires Instagrammers or anybody in the social media sphere that with millions of followers, those followers don't follow them across platforms. They stay in your Instagram lane. They won't follow you to the big screen. They're just not going to do that.
Right, so, which has been proved now. I mean, you look at somebody like Rachel Zegler, right? Rachel Zegler was big on social media, and now Hollywood won't even touch her.
Yeah, well, she opened this thing called her mouth.
Yeah, she she did it to herself for sure.
I think social media can translate other talents that aren't acting, like singing, like Justin Bieber and like a lot of music starts online. Like that is absolutely transferable to the big stage and arena.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But something like music, yeah.
That's
no, it's not the same thing.
No, not at all.
But I mean, I guess if you're a studio head at this point, right? You kind of you realize the big stars aren't working either.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I don't think Scarlett Johansson's pulling in numbers that she used to pull in, and
I think they are so at that elite level. Like when you're a Bob Iger, like the people around you you don't have access to people like you and I who have these amazing ideas and all these like cute little quirky things that can be brought up. They don't have access to us. They don't know we exist. They will never know we exist because there's no gap jumping in between us. Like there's just no way. Like the best that I can hope for is that somebody in the lower tiers of executives at the studios, since I want to make this into a TV series after this feature film, kind of sees it, gets it, and this is as bad as South Park. Remember when South Park started? It was like cut out cardboard. Like this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
These are the beginnings. It's very similar in that new kind of weird animation kind of thing. Somebody got that. Somebody said these cardboard clippings are freaking amazing, and boom, South Park. But like 1 in a million, you know.
But okay, but yeah, with South Park, it wasn't so much about the animation as it was the content of the animation, right?
Yes.
I mean,
people
they watched South Park the same way or for the same reason they watched like Married with Children, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was just so irrelevant or irreverent. I'm sorry, and just so like just in your face, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's what drew people to South Park. And South Park is even more interesting because with animation you can get away with so much more.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so much more. So they were able to not only like just step to the line, they crossed it way over in a way that like a live action show like Married with Children could never really do.
Yeah,
because animation you can get away with murder.
Mm-hmm.
And that show is still going to this day.
Yes, and it's still relevant, and it's still written with just as much edge, and it's the writing really. Like Trey and Matt are brilliant writers. And they really are. Literally anything going on. Like I can't wait to see what they do with what's going on in LA right now. Like there will be an episode about this. Mark my words.
Oh, I guarantee you there will be. And you know what?
And it will be brilliant.
I can't believe I'm bringing this up, but I even liked that one movie that the live action that they wrote and directed, Basketball.
Oh,
do you remember that movie?
They are not as good in real live action as they are.
No, they're not.
They try so
hard. But it was still funny. But
Orgasmo theirs too.
Orgasmo. Oh my God, that's right. Oh my God, I forgot about Orgasmo.
The Mormon porn star. They have this thing for Mormons, I swear.
They really do. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a kink or what, but they really like the Mormons, man.
They like their underwear. What can I say? They see that grandma underwear and it just swing.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that. I don't want the Mormons after me. I mean, I already have everybody else after me. I don't need the Mormons after me.
What's another group of haters? Come on.
I mean, I got
them like trophies.
I got the blacks after me. I got the midgets after me. I got the gays after me. I got everybody after me. So.
At some point, you know,
I don't need the Mormons after me.
Right.
Speaking of Mormons, though, no, I'm kidding. I do want to pick your brain on what's happening with AI, though, in the industry. When we were on Film Threat, we talk a lot about Justine Baitman, who's kind of been like, the Paul Revere of AI, right, and screaming at the top of her lungs that AI is going to ruin us. You know, the AI is coming, right? I feel a little bit differently. At first, I agreed with her. I was like, yeah, AI is evil, man. And we all saw the Terminator movies and all that, but we shouldn't be messing with AI. But I think the more and more I think about it, I don't see a point where studios are not going to use this tool, right? Like Hollywood is going to eventually.
Have you heard of the movie Ninja Punk?
No.
Oh, it's an all AI human mix. And it's the first of its kind feature film coming out that is like AI generated all backgrounds and it's all ninja fight scenes, but like
how does it look?
Away from that, it's like actual humans like on a green screen that eventually gets all, AI
right
done up. Like that's the first feature film of its kind, and they are trying to sell it like, oh no, we're just using AI as a tool. You know what? Use it as a tool. What happened to all the avid, like all the people that used to edit with like film and like literally with a cutting it with like a.
Oh my God! Yeah, back in the day, like with
Premiere comes along and boom,
35 millimeter, 16 millimeter film, and going to the editing bay and cutting the. Oh my God! So I don't miss those days.
Exactly. So I think this is another layer of tools. Like I'm more worried about AI taking over our bank accounts, our life stuff. Like really, like you're worried about a background made out of AI.
Well, because you know what it means. It means more people will be out of a job, and at least that's the thought, right? The more AI is infiltrating Hollywood, the less jobs there will be for humans, right?
Hey, someone still has to program the AI. They still have to make those suites like Runway and stuff, like and Mid-Journey. Like someone's gotta still tell the AI what they want and like tell the camera angles. Like there's still gonna be craft. You can't just say, "Hey AI, do this," and then boom, movie. You still have to every step of the way plan.
Sure, but
you really want to make a coherent, cohesive thing. It's just a tool. It's gonna take away jobs. Yes, it will. And those jobs, just like from film cutting to Avid to like Premiere to DaVinci, which is free, it's just an evolution. It's gonna happen, evolve or die. That's just the way all industries are.
But it is a little different in the way that with AI, we don't have to pay extras anymore, right? Like, so more people will lose their jobs if it does become more mainstream, because there's a lot of people you won't have to pay anymore, right? So I get the fear. I definitely understand the fear. I just think that it's too late, right? Like you can't put the genie back in a bottle. Like you can't say, "Oh, forget about this technology. It never happened," right? Like you can't do that.
No.
So it's here to stay. So I guess it's better that we kind of figure out a way everybody could benefit from it.
Exactly.
Then try to run from it.
Well, it also opens the door for even more independent filmmakers making even wilder, more insane looking stuff. Like at the end of the day, the AI isn't going to write a great script. It's not. I write better than ChatGPT. Anytime I ask ChatGPT to write me something, I look at it and I'm like, I can do better than that. Like it just doesn't. It doesn't have like my quirky like, hey man, whatever email, whatever. But it will never outdo a human. There will never be a soul to it. There will never be that warmth. But it is such a great tool that can be used with grace and dignity, just like we switched into digital from film. It's another tool. It's another day. It's an evolution of what we're doing. There's no escaping it. We might as well learn to use it like the tool that it is and not let it ruin and rule our lives. Like if you're an extra right now, are you really going to be an extra for the rest of your life? Like, is that what you want to do with your life? Or if film editing is still going to need great film editors, great storytellers, great writers, people that will tell the story. I think we lost Dante. Oh no!
I'm right. I'm here.
You're back.
I am back.
Did you hear me?
I didn't. No, I heard everything.
Okay. So Justine is very much correct in everything that she's afraid of, but industries evolve, casualties of war happen, and evolve or die. You know, this is the next whatever.
No, it's next evolution of, I guess, of what we're supposed to be doing with film. I don't know.
I just don't want AI to seep into like our everyday lives and start to run our lives, and that's the real fear for me. Like, to be the last thing.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like you already know that's going to happen. It's already happening right now.
It's already happening.
So, I mean, in fact, a friend of mine was telling me that, because he's in a job hunt and everything, and he doesn't work in the industry. He's just looking for a regular job. But yeah, I mean, all the job applications now are going through AI, an AI filter, right? So it's not even a human being looking at your resume anymore. It's AI. So it's already seeped into every part of our life already.
And it's affecting people looking for jobs. Like it's like, can we be worried about that more than like if your background is made out of some AI? Like I do understand that there's a real worry for AI stealing other people's art and work, and that is a real issue that I would love them to figure out. I'm not going to be the one to figure this out, but stealing other people's copyrighted material to teach an AI something like that needs regulation. That that.
There needs to be safeguards for sure. And I think the more we normalize it, right? I think the more we normalize it, there probably will be at some point. I think right now we're still kind of in the wild west of the AI, AI era. So
like when the internet came about, and that was the wild west, and now it's nothing but ads and regulation. Give it a couple of years, it'll be the same over there too. Hopefully, if it doesn't take over.
Oh no, I totally agree.
You know what my one thing is, like whenever I see an AI robot, I'm like, why are you giving it legs? Why?
Yeah, you know,
desktop.
I was on X like a few months ago, and I remember, and I still remember this. Like, I guess in Japan they have like this robot, like multiple that they train to use a sword with, and I'm like, what are we doing, people? What are we doing? Why are we training a robot to use a sword? Like you know what I mean?
Well, you know, DARPA has back flipping robots already, and like I'm terrified of their dogs and stuff. Like
why not just get like would you see like a deer, like just give the hunter the gun? Like why are we giving robots or teaching robots how to use swords?
Things just don't make no sense. But it makes a lot of dollars.
Yeah, no, I have a healthy fear of AI, but at this point I do know that as far as, you know, film goes, it's happening. You can't stop it.
Yeah.
You know, as much as you want to, as much as you've tried. I respect the hell out of Justine Baitman, but I think she's fighting a losing battle.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I don't think she's going to win this one.
No, but there needs to be regulation, and I don't know how to go about like what's the correct way to do this, but it will be regulated eventually the correct way, just like our internet became like just like.
Well, I don't think the industry knows how to regulate it, man. It's like, you know, we just had a strike about this, right? I mean, we had a big, you know, industry strike. I still don't understand what got accomplished with the AI conversation, because people are still using it. They're still going to use it. So what was that strike about then? Just $1 more an hour? Like I don't I don't understand it.
I think few people do. Like few regular people.
I guess. I mean, but here's the thing. People I've talked to who are part of it said they don't even understand what they got. Like no real benefit came out of the strike.
I feel like the contracts are getting worse. Like, remember back in the day when you did like one commercial, you got residuals and you were like, for the year? There's no such thing as that anymore. You get like paid out, like, and smaller sums of money. Like, there's no like living on one commercial for like years on end of residuals. Like I as a child size hand model, I do national commercials. Literally, I booked 9 commercials this month. Like I'm not even like one commercial last year. I book multiple commercials a month. I'm not getting residuals. I get a day rate. That's it. Like, and this is like on camera, like body parts. I don't get residuals, but voices and faces get residuals. Isn't that?
Yeah, no, that's
right over my hands.
Yeah, like it's the deals are getting worse.
That's
wow, man. Because I mean, you could always like count on those residuals, man. I mean, sometimes they weren't much, but
you could not anymore for many years. And those contracts, like, what happened to those contracts? Why was it better like 20 years ago? Like I knew people 20 years ago who
these were national commercials, right?
Yeah. Like I met this guy doing extra work on set when I first came to LA, and he was like, "Oh, I was an extra on this one set, and like the camera just like kind of like focused on me for a second." He wound up with $60,000 of residuals for that one little feature second on this commercial. He didn't say anything, and I'm like,
interesting.
You can't. There's no such thing like that anymore. I don't think anyone's making their yearly.
No, I think you're right, because I knew a guy who was a regular on Star Trek: The Next Generation, and if you were a regular on Star Trek, you were like living well, right? Because it was a regular gig that you could count on every year 24 episodes. You know, he's an extra, so he not an extra. I don't want to say extra. He's part of the cast, but not a speaking role. You know what I mean? He's a regular extra, if that makes sense.
Featured
but yeah, just a regular on you know, the guy you see, and you'll see him, but you know, he has no speaking parts. But he was able to live well off those Star Trek years. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're making deals like that with extras anymore.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I think part of the strike for the actors was because they were getting paid so little. Like they'll book like one episode of some show a year, and they're not making enough to get their medical insurance. Like I think that was a very large part of what the strike was about. And I don't know if that improved.
Well, another part of it too was that, yeah, I mean that, but also, you know, seasons now are just shorter, you know, like shows are shorter. Yeah. You know, it's like before you can count on those 24 episodes. Yeah. Like I said, you know, like a season was 24 episodes. You had that winter break and then it came back and then finished out the rest of the season. Now it's like, you know, most shows go 8 at best, right? Yeah. I mean,
here's my question. Are there writers today that can write 24 episodes of one show?
Probably not. But here's the thing.
I mean, support a writer's room for 24 episodes now.
Well, we have to remember too, back in those days, there was a lot of cocaine being done in the writer's room. So, I mean, you know,
still plenty of cocaine in those writers' rooms.
You know, when you have a mountain of cocaine in front of you, I mean, you could write your ass off with that much cocaine. But no, I think it's just that, and we also have to be honest. You know, in the 24 episodes, there was a lot of filler episodes. You know what I mean? Sure. So it wasn't like just a lot of quality, but at the same time, you know, it was a consistent gig. And you can count on it. And now with the episodes only being like 8 episodes a season, and then not even knowing when the show's coming back, right? That's the other part of it, is you never know when these shows are coming back. Yeah, because before you had the fall season, you had the winter season, right? You spring season when it came to like, you know, TV shows. There's no more seasons.
No,
it's just like a show will come back when it wants to come back.
Yeah, like literally, you could shoot a pilot any time of the year. There's no like pilot season, summer, and award season. What was the other season in LA? We got award season and pilot season, and
I mean, we still have award season, but yeah, we lost pilot season. Yeah,
which is another thing. Like as the industry is changing, there's so many changes that we're navigating through, and of course everybody's crashing and burning. I mean, they broke their VHS and DVD and. Like the streaming model broke.
Oh God! Don't even get started on streaming, because streaming.
By the way, this movie's available on media. You can get it on DVD and Blu-ray on Amazon.
Promote it. Oh, by the way, I do have your information in the description, so
okay, great.
They'll be able to, you know, click on the links.
Find Apocalypse Love on Amazon, and you can stream it actually for free.
Actually, that's where I saw it. I saw it on Prime.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah.
Amazing. But for the people that need the physical media, it's available on physical media.
See, and that's cool. And you know what's funny? I'm one of those people who I really respect physical media, and I just don't own a lot of it anymore. You know, like
who has the space in an LA apartment?
That's the problem. Is, you know, I live in a tiny LA apartment. I don't have a lot of room for shit. Like it's funny because Chris Gore is always talking about, like, you know, he always has all these popcorn buckets, right? And I'm like, dude, I have no room for popcorn buckets. I have one. I have the Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine. I have that popcorn bucket. I'm not buying any more fucking popcorn buckets because I don't have room to put anything.
What a funny little like merchandising side quest that Hollywood had at the like are they still doing popcorn buckets? I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God, they're bigger than ever now.
Really?
Have you not seen like the Fantastic Four and like, you know, Superman? Like all they had oh my God, they had a popcorn bucket for some random movie. I think it was like a drama. It wasn't even like a sci-fi film. Like I can't remember what it was. There's a popcorn bucket for everything now. There'll probably be a popcorn bucket for porn soon. I mean, there's a popcorn bucket for everything.
You got me thinking thoughts about the popcorn bucket. Like, is there a hole at the bottom of the? Anyway.
Well, funny you should say that, because I don't know if you saw the Dune popcorn bucket for the movie Dune, but it had the. Yeah, it was a sandworm, but it looked like a glory hole, and
of course it did, and someone designed it that way.
Oh, absolutely. and someone probably utilized that hole. So I mean, you know, so
we're not talking from experience.
Oh no. I don't own the bucket. So
no. You borrowed someone else's.
Clean that thing. Oh no, you never borrow a man's popcorn bucket.
Maybe you borrowed it from a lady friend. I don't know.
You never borrow another man's popcorn bucket.
No one's judging anyone's popcorn bucket kink, okay?
I judge some kinks. I'm not going to lie to you. Not many, but I do judge some. Before I get into the kink talk, though, let me read these 2 super chats that came through. This is from Fuck Google's 2 or Fook.
Hello.
I don't know how to pronounce that, but for $2, how does Vera feel about AI in film and writing? And to his credit, he just sent this super chat a little bit before we started talking about it, so it was just my bad. I got to it now, but fuck Google's, is that your name? Fuck Google's 2. I hope that answered your question.
To reiterate, I feel that AI can't write as well as humans because it just doesn't. It just cannot write better than a human, but it will write better than a bad human writer, of course.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But like those writers that can write those shows that literally grip you by the soul, those shows that you love so much, it will never ever be able to write that. That's my take. Humans I do always be able to write better.
Actually, though, I do know a guy who is a working director in Hollywood. I'm not going to give up his name because he'll probably get shunned because of the AI thing, but he knows how to make those scripts work in AI, man. And he's come up with a few movies already that has been filmed from AI. So, but you really got to know how to finagle it to get a good script out of AI.
I'm pretty sure he wrote it and then finagled. Like I could see finagling lines to make things sound better because AI can really rearrange words in a very eloquent way. Yeah, but it still needs human everything else to like.
Oh sure,
shape it.
You can't say, "Hey, give me a film script," and it prints you out a film. It won't do that.
I'll tell you what I used AI for. I used it to translate this movie into different languages, and I happened to speak other languages, and it translated it better than I would have had as a native speaker. Like I translated it into Russian subtitles, and I speak fluent, like native fluent Russian. And I was like reading along because I don't have like the typing and I don't know how to write in Russian, but I speak it fluently, but I can read it. And the way it was spitting out the lines that these things were saying, it was actually funnier in Russian. And I was like, oh, amazing.
So now you're hooked on the AI, huh?
Well, I sprinkle it in the utility.
You've been converted.
It's a utility. It didn't write the script, but it really translated it really remarkably well.
No, but that is actually pretty good to know.
Yeah.
That is good to know. Really quick, I have one more super chat, and this is from George, my boy George, for $9.99. What's up, George?
George,
Wyatt.
I watch your channel.
Look at that. George, she watches your channel. Thank you for bringing us the best voices with the greatest insight.
So awesome.
All hail Queen Vera. That is very cool.
Yay.
Thank you very much, my friend. Yeah, me and George, we do 2 shows together a week, and we have a good time.
Yeah. George, you rock. I watch your show all the time on YouTube.
Very cool, man. Love to hear that.
Brilliant commentary.
Brilliant. Oh, yeah. No, George is amazing, man.
I should be on George's show. George,
you should be on George's show. In fact, I'm going to recommend it because we have a show Wednesday.
Awesome.
So,
puppets will travel.
There you go. Speaking of which, though, speaking of horror, because I probably shouldn't get into any kink talk since that's where we left off. Though, popcorn bucket kink might be a whole new category of porn that we just that we're dismissing, right?
You know what? We're just gonna have to say that we coined it, and
we did coin it. We trademarked it, right?
Right here, Verbal Riot.
Yes, right here on this show, popcorn bucket porn or kink.
Yeah.
By the way, I never want to see it. I'm just saying.
Right. We're never gonna watch it.
Never want to see it. but I am taking credit for the
father
name.
And mother of
oh my God, the father and mother popcorn bucket porn. Okay.
The Godfather and Godmother.
The Godfather, yes.
Yeah.
Even though I don't encourage it and I don't abide by it, I'm just saying it's a thing. I'm sure like anything else, right? I mean, hell, there's people who dress up as teddy bears and bang each other. So I mean, let's be honest here, people.
I know people that make those suits. And
oh no. Oh no. You know people who make the furry suits?
Yeah. Of course, I'm a cosplayer.
Okay, here we go. You know what?
The things intertwine and intermesh.
So for you guys watching the show right now, we are about to enter some crazy territory. If you have sensitive ears or if you're easily offended, you should
turn up the volume.
Watch something else because I got questions right now about this furry thing.
Oh, I don't
know. So when your friends
summer child.
When your friends make these furry suits, so they have to get the holes right? Like there's do they have to adjust the size of the? So how do they do this exactly? I'm like,
I don't know, Dante. I don't participate in these things. But if I was to create an outfit, I assume there would be like.
If you were to create a furry outfit, how would you?
If I was to create one, I would make sure that there's like a trap door. Remember, like those old dungarees of like.
Oh dear God, yes.
Buttons in the back, and I assume it would be something like that. Maybe a zipper. But do you really want a zipper down there? I mean, also, like hygiene. Like you and I, we were talking earlier about hygiene and how, but like the sweat in the fursuit and like, this is where my mind goes. It's like, how do you not overheat the sweat, the smell, the fur, the stuff getting on the fur?
So I'm gonna paint a picture for you guys. Like, for those of you who have never been to Comic-Con, Comic-Con on some level, it's almost like if you ever saw the movie The Warriors, where all the different gangs gather together to like, have this peace summit, but you had all these crazy looking gangs in different outfits and colors. That's kind of what Comic-Con is. And there's tiers, right? Like the Star Wars people don't like the Star Trek people. The Lord of the Rings people don't like the, they're just like different tiers of geekdom, right? Everybody looks down on the furries. Every group, right? They may hate each other, but no one hates anybody more than the furries. And look, to the furries' credit, they do keep to themselves. And I know this because I see them always gathered together in a circle when we're outside in the gas lamp district. They do this ceremony where they all gather together in a circle and commune. I don't know, but I look, man, I'm a nerd. I read comics. I love animation. That's a whole nother level of crazy to me. But here's the thing that you people need to understand. As weird and as goofy and as nerdy as furries are, they be fucking. Okay? Like, just understand that. These weirdos have a lot of sex. I mean, they're not choosy, obviously, of who they're banging, but they do, man. And just know when you see a furry, it's always, look, 90% of the time, it's a sexual thing. It has nothing to do with geekdom. Has nothing to do with Comic-Con, if we're being honest here, right? These are just freaks, because those same weirdos I have seen at the AVN Awards. So there's a whole thing out there.
Okay, what are you doing at the AVN Awards?
So funny story.
Segue.
It was the last time I was there was 2020 or 19, and we were going to Sundance. It was me, Chris, the whole Film Threat crew. We were like 10 deep at the time, different cars, obviously, but we drove from here to Utah to Salt Lake City. And on the way, though, me and Chris got invited to the AVNs. So it was 4 of us in the car, and we just in Vegas, because it was happening in Vegas, and you got to drive through Vegas to get to Utah. So we made a stop.
It all worked out, huh?
It happened. Well, hey, it's Sundance. Sundance was happening the same week as the AVNs. So, but we made a stop in Vegas and we went to the AVNs and we actually know porn stars. So we got to talk to some friends of ours and hang out a little bit. Pretty normal stuff. Well, except for the one guy walking around with a stack of 8x10s that he was getting signed by his favorite porn stars. This dude was getting autographs from porn stars. I'm like, dude, I get porn. I get it. Like, hey, we've all watched it. I mean, but you're getting autographs? Like a stack of 8x10s. So, and look, and I try not to judge people. I'm like, hey, maybe this guy's just lonely. I don't know. But that's a whole nother level of weird to me. Is I can imagine asking a porn star for their autograph, right? Right? Like, it's already weird enough these guys saying I'm your biggest fan, right? It's like,
I guess it depends on what they're signing your autograph with. I don't know.
I mean, it was a pen, but it's just weird, you know. And some of them even gave it a little kiss to put the lipstick on the picture. But I don't know, man. I try not to judge people, but it's some people make it hard not to.
So, was this guy dressed like a furry, or we're just?
I just happen to remember that guy. But no, going back to the furries. But yes, there was an area for furries there, and because the thing is that like there's the awards and then there's the convention, right? So like people do the convention first, and the awards isn't to the very end of the week, right? It's like one of the last things. So we were there during the convention, and it was, you know, everything that you think would be there would be there.
Of course.
And it's the first time I ever tried the virtual reality sex thing, because you know they had a booth.
How'd that go?
And you put the helmet on, and then you put your hand in his glove that's supposed to simulate. It was you know what? It was a wild experience, but I will say I could see this being a big thing in the future, right? Like even in the next couple of years, like there's a lot of lonely dudes out there who are probably gonna buy into this shit. So,
well, you know, you give AI enough bodies and legs to walk around, and that's all they're going to be using.
The sex robots are coming for sure. Like we can already forget about that. The sex robots are on their way.
A side question: do you think they clean that glove between people?
I don't know, but I did have my own. I did have my own sanitizer. So, because
when you make me laugh too hard, I'm gonna cough my brains.
I am a germaphobe. Like I told you before, I'm a germaphobe. I'm a hypochondriac, so I carry sanitizer. I carry all that shit because I don't trust nobody.
Dante, I do not worry about Dante.
No, I don't trust nobody. I just I'm a weird neat freak too. So like I don't know. I just don't like dirt. I don't like, you know, and what's weird about that is I remember I used to date this chick who, you know, she used to say it was weird that I didn't get my hands dirty because she's used to dating guys who like worked on cars and their hands were always dirty. And I'm like, okay, so you are dismissing me because my hands are clean? Like that's your pick, right? That my hands are too clean? I would think as a woman, you would appreciate a man with super clean hands, considering where my hands go, right? Like, right? Like
that was going to be my next point.
You would appreciate a man with clean hands, but no, you want a guy with dirt in his fingernails and all that weird shit to handle your most holy of holies. Like nah.
Chicks, man,
chicks, y'all are wild.
We are. Ain't gonna lie. As one of them, yeah.
But not you, because you've been off the market for a while.
Yeah,
you are a taken woman. You are a kept woman, if you will.
I kind of like to keep them, but you know.
But no, hey, you know what? Here's the thing. These days, do it. I'm all for monogamy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it. So you know, if you found someone who's just as fucked up as you are, you marry that one.
Well, you keep them around,
or date them, or keep them around. Yes,
you keep them around.
Yeah. Now, you know what's weird though? Like I don't know how people do it anymore, man. Like as far as dating, like dating is weird now, right?
I
Like I don't know. It's just I look at some of these guys, like, you know, especially the younger dudes, and they're just not. They're not making the moves, man. They're not like approaching women anymore. They're not like, you know,
well, they're scared. I would be scared too. Like what? Like the internet's the new like rape whistle, you know.
No, and I totally understand that, you know, but at the same time, I just feel like it's something unnatural about a guy, you know, like going out with his buddies and not, you know, approaching a chick. Like, and I say that as someone who's the bartend, right? Like I didn't see that a whole lot because I was bartending right up until the apocalypse happened, before the lockdowns, and you know, guys just weren't making the approach.
Well, now they have this loneliness epidemic. You know, I keep my little toes in a lot of like incel stuff, and I watch the Red Pill, and I know quite a bit about it. Like I'm like I started with the MGTOWs, like
queen of the incels, right?
Not a queen, more like a princess of the incels. But like I keep my little ear to the ground in that rabbit hole because it's very fascinating to see that whole thing progress from like just like incredibly good advice that was like older men who've been through like the ringer telling younger men like, hey, watch out for these things, and for it to devolve into like full on women hate on the other side of that spectrum. It's been kind of interesting to see that happen.
Yeah, look, to be fair to the men out there, man, I joke around with you guys, but I know it's hard. I know it's tough. I know that, and when I say that,
it's terrifying.
You know, it's not even about the approach. It's about the fact that not only do you have to worry about like weird allegations against you, you know, and all this other shit and being called toxic and all that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just the fact that, you know, the expectations of women now are so crazy different, you know, like women who are like, I won't date a guy under 6'5", you know, and I won't date a dude who, you know, doesn't make this amount of money. And I won't date a guy who, and sure, you would normally hear that from women who were like 9s and 10s, right? But when you're hearing that from like 5s and 4s, it's like, wait a minute now. Like, I should be able to get you.
well, to be fair, a 4 or 5 in LA is a 12 literally anywhere else in the country.
That's true. And I know there's a scale. I get that. But here's the thing. When you're in LA, you're still a 5 or a 4. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. If you go like to Iowa, you'll be like an Iowa 10, right? So
I see this happen a lot actually in LA, where like the beauty queen of the little town comes to LA and she's literally back of the like
yeah
like
oh yeah no
like
you're average
like you know, it's so weird. And I was talking because I'm a makeup artist professionally and I do beauty makeup. I don't do like effects and stuff. I just do straight up like red carpet beauty. Like I'll take someone who's tore up from the floor up and put them on a red carpet. That's what I do. And like to see what is considered an LA 10, like you can spot them from across the room. Like it is unbelievable. Like whether surgically enhanced or just like the gods came down and gave them the DNA of like ambrosia, you can always spot what an LA 10 is in LA.
Yeah, it's undeniable.
I don't really know what this person like taken out of LA into another place, like mind blowing. Like they must like literally set rooms on fire with their looks. But like out here in LA, there's so many LA 10s walking around. And I just did a fashion show this past weekend, and there was only one LA 10 in the room, and the whole room knew it. The whole room knew it. It was
exactly.
It was like, wow.
I remember me and Chris, this was like last year, just during the LA Comic-Con. This was in 2023, so it was that year of LA Comic-Con. That same night, the Saturday night of the con, we had got invited to the Barbie party out in Hollywood. So and they were doing like the Barbie, it was like, you know, for you or whatever, because they were trying to get nominated for an Oscar or whatever. So all of them were there. All of them, Margot, Ryan, they were all there. And I remember going there, man, and Margot Robbie is one of those people where you will notice her immediately, even if she wasn't Margot Robbie. Like she's just gorgeous, right? But then right behind her was Dua Lipa, and I'm like, that's a fucking LA 12. Like undeniable. Like undeniable how hot she is, right? That level is that is millionaire
gorgeous
fodder.
her eyeballs. Like you guys, like we're not exaggerating. When you see one of these like in like what is considered a 10 in LA, if you see it in person, it is like a TikTok walking filter. Like they actually look like that in real life, and they got like the insane physical proportions that go with it. Like, and you know, of course, there's like professionals like myself, like styling them, doing their hair, their makeup. So even if they're like an 8 or a 9, we can literally
of course, because that's your job.
12, and you know, whatever physical enhancements they get, whatever it is, when you see it, it's undeniable. I was an extra on a Zac Efron movie, the one where he's a DJ.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, Emily Ratajkowski, whatever her name is.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I am dancing in a rafter. Like they put me up. I was like a go-go dancer in that movie.
Yeah.
So they put me up in a rafter, and we're in a giant club. I didn't know who any of these people were actually. And I looked down, and just Emily's walking through the crowd of extras, and there's like hundreds of extras. And you could literally, like, my eyeball just went straight to her. I had no idea who it was.
Emily Ratajkowski?
Yeah, I was like, holy crap. I had no idea who it was. I didn't know she was the star of the movie. Nothing. Like, you could just, like, in a crowd, like, zoom. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
That person is an LA 10. There's an it factor that is indescribable.
Yeah, it's like it's you get it, and those are the ones where it's like, okay, guy, I get it. Like if you tried, you shot your shot. I understand that, you know, it didn't happen because it was never going to happen. That level of hotness is reserved for millionaires. Like there's just no way. there's just no way the average man is going to
beating the mechanic down the street. You know, like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, like believe me, like there have been TV. You know, there have been chicks on TV and movies that that here's the thing. I know if I have a shot with you, you're probably like between a 7 or 8, right? And believe it or not, there's actresses who I've had a shot with, so they were not 10s. You get what I'm saying? So and you know what? I didn't care. They were still cute. See, that's the thing. You don't have to be a 10, right? No. You could be a 5 or a 4, still be a 5 and still be cute.
4.5. You're out.
4.5 if you're really drunk, but you know, whatever, doable. The problem is when a 4 or 5 has the attitude of I want a high caliber man, like that's craziness. And I think that's what a lot of guys are facing right now, right? Is not just the weird accusations, but the fact that these women's standards are so ridiculously high that they don't even have a shot with them. So what's a guy to do except buy a popcorn bucket?
Brings it very neatly back around to where we started.
It always comes back to the popcorn bucket. No, but you get what I'm saying?
I do. I absolutely do. It is. I don't know how the dating scene is at all. It scares me. All my girlfriends who are single, I am afraid for them. I fear for them because they expect this, and then the guys that they pick are a whole different set of whatever. That just know that chicks talk a lot, but like, have you seen their boyfriends?
I tell guys that all the time, though. I tell them, guys, these women be talking, man. So like,
a lot of this talk. Make them
be
laugh.
careful. I'm just saying, y'all be talking.
Exactly. Humor will take you a long way with a chick.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So Hollywood will tell you.
No, I look, dating is weird, and especially dating in LA. I think dating in LA is different than anywhere else. It's just such a weird facade, right? Like you have to there's just so many things you have to have going for you before you even think about making the approach to a woman these days. So yeah, no, I get it. I get why guys are staying home and playing video games and
AI sex robots.
Having AI sex and all that. Yeah, no, right. I totally get it.
Also, it's safer. You won't get me too'd. And
well, you won't.
the STDs that are just floating rampantly all over the place.
Yeah, I'm about to say you won't get Me Too'd and you won't get syphilis.
You won't. You won't get the funny syphilis. Please tell me somebody got that reference.
I think less guys these days are more concerned. They're less concerned about Me Too, though. I think at this point it's just they don't want to deal with the craziness. They don't want to deal with the fact that, oh, I need to have I have to go on a date with my bank records and my my stock reports and all this other shit I have to prove. You know what I mean?
And the women are coming back with, we don't want the guy's mental illness or his shit to ruin our peace. So I don't know how anybody gets together these days.
I don't either. I really don't, man.
And women, they make their own money, they make their own everything, and they have built their little nests, and don't mess with our nests.
No, I get that part, but at the same time, because I hear this all the time about, the independent woman and this and that. And I agree. We should all be independent. Look, we should all be independent. We shouldn't have to rely on anybody.
That's right.
But
I
think emotionally, though, we are built to need each other. Right. And I think in that aspect, it's weird when I hear people say they want to be alone or by themselves. Now, I get it if you're fresh off a divorce. Because I remember when I got divorced, I was like, hey, you know what? I just want to break. You know what I mean? I just want to kind of be by myself, not, get back on the horse just yet.
So how fast did you get back on the horse?
Well, at some point, it took me it took me about 5 or 6 months to really kind of just ease back into it.
Good for you.
I took some time, I went on a few weasel dates, right? Where it's like, hey, I'm hanging out with a friend, but that friend brought a friend and that friend brought a friend, and you're in a group setting and you're just kind of talking to somebody, and just, just no attachments, no commitments, just hanging out with the group, right?
Right.
So I did a few of those, but then finally, some friends of mine were like, dude, we're signing you up on all these dating apps because you need to get back out there. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of just hopped right back into it.
And here you are.
Here I am, man. Here I am. Of course, I mean, the divorce was in 2014. So yeah, I got over it.
You're well healed by now, ladies.
I'm well healed.
Need a well healed man. Here he is.
It's been a while, so. And you, I mean, you're like the master of commitment. I mean,
that's what I do.
You're like
a serial long-term monogamist.
Exactly. You're the long-term queen.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're one of those chicks where it's you're only single for a second before somebody snatches you up, and then you're in another long commitment for another 10 years.
If you don't get me in that 1 second, you're screwed.
That one afternoon when you're single, right?
Yeah. Actually, I've been able to flip boyfriends within 48 hours.
Oh my God, that's insane.
I could go I don't need a healing period, because when you're in a long-term relationship, as you know, women don't cut off and leave. It builds a long time.
Oh no, absolutely.
We switch off and we're out of it way before we break up.
Oh no, yeah, and I tell guys that all the time. I'm like, dude, she was already breaking up with you while you were together.
She was gone for a while before the actual split happened. And it's the same way with me, because I'm with a guy for so long. I could switch off years in advance. So it's not a great thing, but I'm healed by the time I'm broken up with that person. It's oh, okay. Also, I'm a Sagittarius Venus. We're whoosh.
Oh, okay, got it.
Shoot an arrow, kick you in the balls, and we're out. Next.
Yeah, my ex-wife was a Sagittarius, actually.
Sagittarius Venus, but I'm a Scorpio, which makes it even worse.
Oh, you're Scorpio, Jesus.
If you guys are into that.
Well, I used to date I've dated a couple of hippies, and they were really into that shit. So I know more about astrology than I should know.
Yeah.
Way more than I should know.
Astrology may not be scientific or whatever. It's a great conversation starter. If you're on a date and you have nothing to talk about, hey girl, what's your sign? Oh, I didn't know what that is. Or if you do know what that is, you know, like if she's into it, it's a great way to start a conversation. Wink, wink. In case.
Well, it used to be, man. Like I don't know about today. Because again, I've seen like interactions with people, man. Like when I used to bartend, I saw the interactions and the stuff they would talk about. Guys don't know how to hit on women. That's what it is anymore. Guys used to know how to hit on women.
They don't know how to hit on these days. You know, like
you are kind of hard to hit on because you guys have heard it all already.
Well, here's like, how do you hit on a woman? Is she by herself? If she's with her friends, like that is, I don't know.
I will tell you. First of all, I tell every guy go into every situation with zero expectations. Right. Just cut all the expectations out. If you're going on a date with a chick, no expectations.
Whack off before.
Huh?
Whack it off before.
Oh, please, absolutely. Please. Yes. No. You guys, when you go out with a chick for the very first time, number one, remember, you don't do dinner. You're doing coffee or drinks. No commitment. You're not doing a dinner. It's an interview, right? Sort of. Nothing committal. No movies, no dinner, just drinks. That's the first date. But secondly,
in LA, a drink is like $40, by the way, everybody. So
yeah, that's the only thing.
Commitment, so no matter what.
If you're trying to save money, maybe you should do coffee.
Right.
But no, like you're getting to know the person, right? You're filling them out. So go in there with zero expectations, right? Make sure, fellas, make sure you whack off before you go on your date because you don't want to go in there with a loaded gun, right? Because women can smell desperation on you. They can smell it. Okay.
We see it from the first second. Like
they can see it when you walk in the room, like Rick James when he had his aura on the Dave Chappelle show. Like they could see the desperation on you.
The first 0.5 seconds, we already know.
Yeah, so. Guys, whack off before you go on the first date. Always. Okay. Get to know her. Let her do most of the talking. Okay. Don't sit there and bore her with your stories. Okay. Just, ask her questions. Let her do most of the talking. End the date. Keep it short and sweet. Don't even go for the kiss unless she makes it obvious she wants it. Right. Like she leans in. Otherwise, you don't lean in. You just, give her maybe a quick little hug, little kiss on the cheek if you're Hollywood, right? And you go home. And then you whack off again.
I was going to say, that's rule number 2.
Yes. So you're whacking off before and after. Now, if you're in a group situation at a club, party, wherever, approach the group, not just her, right? Obviously, you want to make her feel a little special by giving her a little attention, but make sure you're getting attention to everyone else. Keep it short. Get out of there, right? But leave and maybe try to exchange with her, right? Because at least that way it's not super weird, right? And then you go back to what you're doing. So there's a way to do these things, but I don't think men are being taught how to do these things anymore.
I think you should start a second channel for dating advice with Dating with Dante.
It's coming, believe it or not. I'm working on the book. Look, I want to do my part. Right? I want to do my part to help the lads out there. Because look, no one helped me out. I didn't have someone, teaching me or giving me, the ins and outs. I had to do this shit rough, man. I was raw dogging it. I had to go out there. I tell the story all the time. I go out there with my little black book and my ink pen, and I got numbers. I pound the pavement. Some rejections, some not. When I was younger, 18, 20, whatever. But you had to learn. You had to learn how to take the rejection, right? And then you start to learn how to be a little smoother. Right, you start to learn game, right? So I mean, it just takes a little bit, but I don't think these kids today have the patience for game.
And hence we have what we have.
It's an art, right? It's an art.
Yeah. And women have their side of the issue too, so it's.
Oh, I know.
Big street for sure.
Trust me, I know. But here's the thing: I think no matter what, women will always have it a little bit easier. Because they're the ones getting approached usually.
Like we know it. We know that breathing is optional. Like it doesn't. There's a flavor for every scoop of ice cream out there.
I mean, it's been a while for you because you're never single, but I'm sure guys still hit on you either way, right? I mean,
yeah, of course.
Doesn't matter if you're taken or not.
Well, they don't know. There's no ring on these little baby fingers.
Oh God. Speaking of weird fetishes, are dudes into your little hands? Like, is that a thing? Like,
You know, I don't normally advertise that I'm a child-size hand model, but there's so many jokes out there of like.
There are
actually
too
just
many.
did makeup on Paul Rodriguez on Saturday, and he had a whole thing about like hand models, like hey baby, pleasure me with that part of you that's a model, because the rest of you is all busted.
Wow. So just wait, do you get a lot of that?
No, honestly, nobody ever looks at my hands because, you know.
Right, of course. You know what? And that's fair.
Like nobody looks at it and goes, "Oh my God, you have the hands of a 10-year-old boy." I don't think no one's ever looked at them that way quite.
Well, and also though you're tiny overall, so like, yeah, I guess people wouldn't even notice that because, you know. Now if you were like 500 pounds and your hands were like super tiny, that'd be kind of weird, but
yeah. I'm proportional as a human versus
yes,
having very small hands.
Yeah, no, you're a tiny human.
That's because
that's a good thing.
Yes. Yeah, we were talking about how Dante and I were both like super gym freaks, and we have to be in the gym every day. I used to be I'm probably going to do it again, but I was a competitive bodybuilder in the bikini class. You can find some pictures of that.
That's true, you were.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, no, at this point it's all about maintenance for me. Like I work out because I just have to at this point. It's like if I don't, I'll die, right? Like I'm at the age where I have to like keep things up.
Anything after like 30, like if you're not taking care of yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice into your old age, because now you're banking your joints, your movement, your flexibility, your spine into your old age. Like if you're not taking care of it now, it's going to be that much harder to take care of yourself the older you get. So that's why.
And I already wake up with weird pains. Like I'll go to sleep and wake up with something brand new, and I'm like, how the hell did that happen? You know what I mean? So I'm already feeling it. I mean, at this point, the working out is just to maintain what's already here.
That's right.
Like I'm not even trying to like get bigger or get bulkier or get more muscle. I just need to maintain what I have.
Yes, exactly. Keep your health. Keep the muscle tone. Same thing with women. Like after 30, it's just like a hormonal roller coaster. And if you're not taking care of yourself, you're setting yourself up for disaster.
Yeah, it all falls apart, right? It just all fucking falls apart. Like one day you wake up and you look in the mirror, you're like, how the fuck did this happen? Like I'm like, how am I so gray right now? Like, when did this happen?
Luckily for me, no one will ever know if I go gray.
Yes, because like most of my friends, around your age, they will live and die by that dye bottle. So you will never know their natural hair color.
Never, ever. My natural hair color is not a secret. It's almost black, but I do the soul. My whole like kind of brand is like the gothy rock and roll Marilyn Monroe inspired.
Yeah, no, and it works. So, but here's the thing: you got to keep it up, right?
Oh my God, maintenance, just this mediocre thing. The maintenance that it's required is just astronomical. Like
No, and I applaud you women for that, man, because I feel like, and that's another thing, right? Like with like you and us, it's like with women and men, is women do make the effort for the most part. They make the effort to like keep it looking good, keep it clean. They do what they have to do. And I feel like, sometimes men, we slide a little bit on that. We wake up out of bed and just throw something on, right? Where you guys, you put time into it.
Wow. Some of us.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess I'm thinking the women I know. Most women I know, they put a lot of time into it. So
LA girls are like a whole nother species of animal. And it's so funny, like if they leave LA, they become a regular species of animal, or if they come to LA and they were a normal species, they become the LA species. Like LA just breeds and like regenerates you into these interesting stereotype things. Like,
and I don't know if it's good or bad.
Some sort of weird diet. You're doing some sort of weird exercise,
right?
Like Pilates, flying squirrel apparatus, whatever it is. Like everyone's on some sort of kick out here. I thrive in this sort of thing. I love it. But like,
well,
so
you're also like an ex, competitive bodybuilder. So I mean, yeah. Most women don't go to that length of keeping their body up. So,
well, it was like a challenge for me. I was just like, I was always like, I could either work out or I could eat right. I never put the two together. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to put the two together, I might as well have a goal. And that's how it like motivated me to put the two together.
So how long did you do that for again? Like how long were you bodybuilding?
6 years.
6 years.
And I'm still bodybuilding now, but like just for maintenance, just to maintain the muscle. It's very
of course,
to have muscle for our hormones, for our skin, for youthening effects. It's a thing. Muscle on women is beautiful, and it helps us in every way, beauty and aesthetic wise. And I'm very aesthetic and visual, and I like to look a certain way.
Yeah, and
but
and you know what? Because I mean, you got to do it because now you're not just competing with women, but you're competing with men who think they're women. So it's
and my God, some of them are doing a damn good job. Let me tell you.
You know what's funny is
some are indistinguishable. I gotta tell
some
you,
are. There are some that are convincing.
Like unbelievable, these girls.
There are some that are convincing. Most are not, but the ones that are, bravo to them for the work they put in.
If you go on my Instagram, I have my makeup portfolio Instagram, but it's so like diverse. I have like porn star, trans, Emmy winner, supermodel, Miss Universe. Like it's just all over the place. Like right. I don't care. I'll money's money, and I is an LA hoe.
Well, shit. I mean, out here we got to do whatever we have to, man. If people really knew how unaffordable LA is, like it's like, how do people live here?
I don't know how anyone lives out here because at any time of day there's traffic. Like guys, do you work? Where are you going? Where is everyone going?
Literally all day, which means no one's at work.
Yeah, but where are they going? Is the question.
Because they're all going out of LA, right?
Yeah,
so
I don't know anybody who has a 9-to-5 job. Not one person.
You know what? I don't either. Like I might know maybe one, but because everyone has a gig out here.
It's a gig economy. LA
everyone has a gig, or 5, I should say, like 5 gigs.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, no one has one specific thing they do.
Yes, everyone has multiple careers in LA. Absolutely.
Yeah, because they have to.
You have to. Also, ADHD out here. Like, I can't do one thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, there is a weird thing where I feel like this current generation isn't a big fan of work. You know what I mean? It's like they complain a lot about having a job, which is ridiculous because jobs are pretty hard to find right now, but they still complain about having one. So
they complain, but their complaints, I think, for the most part, are like legit. They don't want to give up their mental. Like everybody's mentally ill right now. Like after lockdown, is there one normal person left? No. Everybody I know is actually getting degrees in psychology or therapy because they can't. Their rosters just fill up immediately. Like the second they get their certificate, filled up roster. Like everyone's right now.
I get that. No, like I do understand that, but I feel like, I don't know. I guess I come from a time period where it didn't really matter how happy you were. You still had to just fucking work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
That's
sure,
our
being happy,
thinking way.
Being happy is nice.
Like that way. They want peace. They don't care if they're living in a shoebox, but they just want peace, and that's what they like. We were like, we want to like have work, and we're like working, and we're slaving, and that was us. But these kids, they just want to peacefully go into the night. That ain't us. That's not the way I think. But
but it's very hard to do that in LA.
Exactly.
I don't know
why so many don't make it here. Like so many
that's true.
Come out here and back they go.
That is true. Like the bus to LA isn't as full as it used to be.
Right.
So there was always that term of being fresh off the bus, right? But
hey, you remember Poison? Mama's Fallen Angel? Stepped off the bus and out into the city.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
About that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, because that was a thing, you know. It was, you know, there've been lots of songs about, you know, chicks coming in fresh off the bus, right? Because that's everyone at one point. Everybody wanted to be in LA.
It's true, and it's very also true how people get chewed up here so quickly if they're not careful. Like
yeah,
like
they don't make it.
No, it's insane. It's an insane dream and shot to make it out in LA. I say just be incredibly happy if you're working and if you're paying your bills, doing something you love. That's pretty much all we can hope for at this point, as us the little peasant people.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think especially right now, you know, going back to what you do for a living, as far as like filmmaking and stuff, like there's never been a better opportunity now for people to just do their own thing. Like never a better opportunity.
You don't need to be in LA, which is why LA is
exactly
freaking business.
This is the best time in the world if you're a filmmaker, man, just to do your own thing. And you can shoot from anywhere. You don't have to deal with film. You could just, you know, you don't have to worry about cutting film. You don't have to worry about buying film. You could just use your phone. If you at the very basic level, you could use your phone, right? And find something that you just love, man, because like, and you could do it, right? Because I mean, you have the editing. There's free editing software.
Everything.
It's like you literally could do everything by yourself, which you do for the most part. So, I always I tell people all the time, you don't have to come to LA, man. Do what you do where you are,
and don't pay the rent prices, and don't get chewed up by like the shysters out here. There's so many of them.
I will say this though, there is something to be said about knowing the right people, right? And that's something that I guess when you're in LA, you do have the advantage of. You always have the advantage of running into
the system. Yes.
Yeah, you have the advantage of running into the right people. Yeah.
But getting to those right people, I haven't talked to the right people yet. I'm still working on it.
You know, I find myself talking to the right people quite a bit, but the problem is I just have nothing to give them right now. You know, I haven't written a film script in since 2010. So I think that's the last time I wrote a film script. Like you know, I mean, I could try to
little summer project.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know what it is? I think I got so burned out when my HBO deal didn't go through that it kind of turned me off from the industry for a while.
Your story is very common. I talked to someone who was already building the sets when they got their plug pulled.
You know, it left such a bad taste in my mouth that I couldn't go back to the keyboard. I couldn't write. I had brain rot. I couldn't come up with anything new. And I thought, oh, I'm just in a slump. I'll get over it. But like, here we are in 2025. I still haven't written a film script. So,
but you have an awesome podcast.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've you know, what's funny about even doing this though is like it's not something I thought I would do. You know, like, you know, Gore talked me into it. And he's like, dude, you have a great voice. You know, you're good at conversations. You know, you're interesting as hell. Like, just do it. Have fun. And I slowly crept into it. I was like, okay, I'll do your show a few times and see how I feel about it, right? And
then you lost your virginity to me.
And then you, madam, you stole my virginity, my YouTube virginity, and here I am now. I am a grown man. I was just a lad when you met me.
Just a summer child, as Neurotic says.
Just a kid, just a young boy. Yeah. But I started doing this, and I really dig it, man. And I'm always fucking learning something new about it constantly. But especially how much work it takes. But I think I like that part of it even more because I you know what it is? I respect it now. I think there was a time where I didn't respect YouTube. I didn't respect YouTubers. I thought it was a joke. But seeing the work that goes into it, you know, from being on the inside now, like I realized, no, this is some hard shit, man. And the guys who make it work, the guys who get the views, you know, I got to give them the respect. They earn that shit because this isn't easy to do at all, you know. But you know, I gotta, you know, I totally love it now. And but yeah, you know, but at the same time, I still get the writing bug. I still like, I feel like I still have one good script in me that hopefully one day will come out.
And it will be your greatest.
I hope, man. I hope. I like, you know what I hope? I hope I'm not at the Ridley Scott point where I'm just done, right? Like I'm like my best was behind me. Like I'm hope I'm not at that stage yet. So I hope. I mean, we'll see. But you know what's funny though? Like I still remember to this day the first screenplay I ever wrote. And at the time I was excited about it and you know, I was showing people. And then like I went back years later and read it. It was so bad. It was like so fucking bad. I'm like, oh my God, I was showing people this script.
We all do that. Our very first script is like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then you go back to it as you grow as a writer. I can't look at my first script. It was awful.
Oh, it's painful. It's so painful. I'm like, what was I thinking about, man? And I feel embarrassed. I show people this, right? Like I showed them this horrible fucking writing. But that's cool though, because it meant that I've grown as a writer because I was able to tell it was a bad script. So
when you're in that level of being objective on your own work, you're at the next level, Danielson.
So how do you know when you've written the right thing? Like because I know you do thousands of rewrites because we all do. So how do you know which version is the one that you're going to shoot?
Usually it's the one where I can tie up all the loose ends very, very neatly and everything makes sense. I don't like writing for like dun 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 and in the next scene. No.
Right.
I want to tie everything up very, very neatly. I want a very satisfactory like ending to all my things. So when all of the little things like all mesh together and everything kind of flows and this little plot point gets like everything gets resolved, that's when I know it's like, it's so neat and beautiful. I also like to write in, because I write mostly comedy. This is a horror comedy, horror sci-fi comedy, that I do beats of 3. So everything kind of happens in sets of 3. So this guy actually gets shushed 3 times by various characters, like just shushing his little mouth like this, like just little things like that. I write it into the script and then I try to find even more sets of 3 when I'm shooting. Like what else can we do to make things in 3s? Because the recall just like always is like fun. It's real. It's fun and it's funny. So anyway.
So you don't pull the M. Night Shyamalan surprise ending and all that weird shit.
No. By the way, my phone has just told me it's in low power mode. Oh no.
Are you running out of film? I mean, battery?
I'm running out of film, Dante.
Battery, not film. We're talking about film. Battery, is your battery okay?
Yeah, my batteries are running low. I had my phone fully charged in the beginning,
but you know what though? It happens. But here's the thing though. I don't want you to just to cut out. So, but if you are running low, we can definitely wrap it up.
Well, we had a lovely 2-hour conversation.
It's been 2 hours?
2 hours, yeah.
Oh my God. I lose track of time every time I do this.
No, it's amazing. I hook me up with George the Giant Slayer. I love that guy.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna tell him when we get off the call. I'm gonna tell him, hey, invite her over.
invite all of us over.
Yeah, well, of course. Remind me again when the film festival is.
All right, so Apocalypse Love is the feature film, and it's playing June 22nd at 6:15 at the Chinese Theater as part of Dances with Film Festival. Please come see it. Say hi to me. I will say hi to you. It'll be great. We'll all be, the cast and crew will be holding the puppets, just so you know who we are.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I love these guys. They are like so cool. And I can't wait for everybody to see this movie. If you can't make it out to the screening, you can see it for free right now on fearpix.com. or mometu.com. It's already distributed there for free, so you can see it there.
And you can go drink after at the Roosevelt.
And we will.
Yes. Because I'll probably be there.
You'll be there.
I'll be there.
You'll be fine. I'm straight edge, so I'll drive.
You are straight edge. That's wild.
That's the other thing that nobody knows, that I'm complete straight edger.
Wow.
Like from the day I was born.
We'll have to talk about that because I had no idea.
Nope. Never smoked.
I'm like, wait a minute, we partied together. I'm like, I never saw you with a drink.
Yeah. I will party as hard as anyone, but I'll be sober, like white knuckling through the whole thing.
Holy shit. Now I'm like flashing back. I'm like, wait, have I ever seen her with a drink? No, I haven't.
Never have.
Interesting. Okay. Well, you know, we'll definitely talk about that when I see you. So.
Oh yeah, of course.
We'll definitely talk about that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Another hand for Vera, man. I'm glad she was able to make it and be a part of this. And again, she was my very first, and I'm happy to have her back for a second time. And I'm sure I'm going to have her on again and be in other shows with her. But if you can make it to the film festival at the Hollywood, at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, if you can make it, great, because it's going to be fun. But if you can't, check out her movie because it is on Amazon Prime. So there's going to be links in the description. Just follow them and they'll get you there. But guys, I will be back Thursday for my regular Thursday show. So not used to doing this on a Monday, but I will be back for Thursday. And hope you guys had a great time. This was fun for me. Didn't realize it was 2 hours. I want to thank Vera again. And yeah, we're going to call it. You guys have a good night, man, and a good rest of your week.
Thank you so much.